My name is Charles, and you're just watching Sway Charles Online TV. Today, we're going to have a look at least some things, like 10 things you shouldn't do when you're angry. Being angry sometimes depends on our emotional intelligence. What I'm trying to say about emotional intelligence is that we have something called emotional intelligence, and as well we have emotional IQ. So if you are faced with certain circumstances of anger, there's how we can tackle the anger, no matter how hard the anger or how big the anger is. And looking at things that can help you improve from being in that stage to another stage, that means that I should not do in order to be in that situation. I'll take you through different things. And starting with number one is don't make important decisions sometimes. When you make important decisions and you're angry, it's not allowed. We say, as you know that you're angry, forget about making important decisions. Because that time you make important decisions and you really know that you're angry, you can make wrong decisions, and these wrong decisions can destroy your entire goals, your entire vision, and whatever. And number two, don't insult or humiliate others. When you're angry, don't insult or humiliate others. There are those people around who humiliate others by being angry and forget about their mental state and the people around them, how they feel, and they just humiliate them by the situation that they're in. And another thing is don't send messages or emails the time you're angry. Remember, writing and the sending of the emails and messages can totally go with emotion and the mindset, the angry mindset that can destroy your control and sometimes can go far from what you have to do. Number three, don't shout to prove your point. Suppose you're angry and you have a point to make, but you're still shouting and you can't make your point clear. So I suggest you keep quiet. And other thing is, number five, don't blame everybody around you when you know you're angry. You are angry, yes, that's okay, but don't blame everybody. Sometimes you need to cool down and put your point across, and don't say anything unless you're cool, calm and collected and what you say. Number six, don't drive with extremely angry. Don't drive while extremely angry. You know what happens when you drive extremely angry. You can get an accident. And accidents always happen when you're not in control. So sometimes you can go astray. Point number seven is don't use alcohol or drugs to calm down. There are people around who think by taking alcohol or any drugs can make themselves cool self. And what I'm trying to say here is that's not good to do, and that can totally destroy your mental state, and you can destroy your tranquility, and you can go astray as well. So that's number seven. So I'm going up to number eight. Number eight is don't interrupt someone while speaking. When you get angry, sometimes you get out of your control, and you can interrupt someone speaking, which shows that you cannot control. I think it's good when someone speaks and listen and understand, although you're in a very bad situation, but when you control yourself, you know how to manage it. And number eight, don't punish someone with silence or cruelty. When you have anger, you can punish someone, and you can punish somebody uncontrollably. You can control the situation. So in the punishing, the punishing action, you punish, but you punish also plus anger that you have. So I suggest that's not something to do. Because this can exaggerate the situation. Because remember that you are in a very bad mood, and the mood itself can exaggerate the situation. So number 9, don't ignore the real cause of your anger. Sometimes when you know the really cause of your anger, that can help you and facilitate your understanding of the situation. That can cools you down. Because if, for example, you ignore what is the cause of your anger, you continue making the same mistakes, and you continue staying in the same situation, no matter what. So what I'm trying to say is, when you ignore the real cause of your anger, you have not solved the problem. To solve the problem, go to the root cause of the problem, solve the problem, continue with other steps. By tackling the problem, you can be better, in a very better situation in position 2. That's number 9. So number 10 is, don't let anger control your identity. We have different identities, professional identities, very, professional identities, I'm trying to say. We have very understandable identities and presentable identities. If people see us with our identities and we keep being angry, we can destroy identities. And the identities say something about personalities. So I'm saying, let's everybody understand, when you have anger, your anger can destroy you, and you don't know what. If you're destroyed by your anger, you can't do anything positive before the people who have ever trusted you before. So I'm saying, it's good to keep yourself cool, calm, and collected. My name is Charles. This is Soy Charles TV, or Line TV. Thank you for listening and watching.